My name is Emma Ditmar, and I'm one of the Adult Services Librarians here at the Rocky River Public Library. And this afternoon, I'd just like to show you a little bit about how to access magazines. Have access to using the library as the gateway. So I'm going to share my screen. This is the library's website, and in order to access the magazine information, you're going to click here under Research Tools. And I should say that the address for the Rocky River Library is right here, rrpl.org. So we're going to click on Research Tools, and we're going to go by subject. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scoot on down to newspapers and magazines. And the one that I really want to concentrate on today is EBSCOhost. EBSCOhost is a collection of a variety of databases for all ages. And we have pulled out bits and pieces of EBSCOhost for you to use. One is an academic search. One is a business search. One is Master File, which is general magazine, a newspaper search, and a vocational and career search database. But what I'm going to suggest for today is we're just going to look at EBSCOhost and go from there. So I'm going to click on EBSCOhost. Now you'll see, in addition to the EBSCOhost databases, there's also a separate thing for consumer reports. If you want to just narrow your search to consumer reports, that's fine. You can click on here and get there. You do have to use the library, though, as the gateway to get into consumer reports. But for right now, I'm going to look at the all EBSCO databases. And I'm going to click on EBSCOhost again here under all EBSCOhost databases. Then what you're going to get is a listing of all of the variety of databases that we have access to. And there really is something for everyone here. Master File is general interest, computers for teachers, for middle school students. There's professional collection here, sociological collection, alternative health. Here's the academic one, the business one. More medical information. Here's a Medline, and here's a health source one. It's the nursing, it's an academic one. Here's one for the little ones, primary search that might be helpful for their research. And the MAS Ultra is for high school students. And it's just kind of interesting to see all the access that we have to using EBSCOhost. So I'm going to scoot back up to Master File right here. And I'm going to continue. Anytime you're in any database at the simple search screen, you can do a simple search or you can do an advanced search. So generally with people, I suggest that they go right away to the advanced search screen. And from this, you have options here for limiting your search. And you can do it if you have an author in mind. You could try it there. If you have the actual title of a newspaper or magazine article, you could try that there. Or if you have a subject term that you want to try, you could do it there. So I'm going to do a subject search. And the other thing I suggest with folks all the time is that when you're at this search screen, always click on full text. That way everything is right here. We're going to just do a subject search, and we're just going to try Cleveland, Ohio. as my subject, and I'm going to tell it to search. And this brought up 11,403 articles. Now, you could add additional terms to narrow the search. Another thing you can do is, you'll notice here is the time frame of searches, and they go all the way back to 1910. So what you can do is you can pull this, and we're going to scoot it way up, and we're going to tell it to look for articles about Cleveland, Ohio, just from 2020 and 2021, and it's going to automatically search. This time we're down to 72 articles, and again we're doing full text searching, and everything is right here. So what's kind of nice about the database here, we'll just take a look at this first one, which is in something called Let's Take a Look at Ohio by John Pearson, and it's from August 31st of 2020, and it's just one page long, it looks like. So we're going to click on it, and actually I misread that. I don't think it's one page, but anyway, the information is all here. And on the side over here, you could print the information, you could email it to yourself, you could save it. I'm going to go back again. And this time, instead of just clicking right here, I'm going to click on the HTML full text. What's kind of nice about EBSCOhost is that you can create a folder. You'll notice over here on the right hand side it says add to folder. So if you or your child that's a student working on a paper is looking for good information, if they don't have time to read it at that particular moment, they can add it to a folder and then come back and retrieve all of those good articles that are in the folder. I'm going to go back. Okay. Now here, Cleveland Rocks is in a magazine called Faces, and it is 5 pages long. I'm going to do a new search. A lot of times we have people coming in and they're looking for evaluations of different products, like consumer report type information. So again, I'm still in master file, and I'm going to do an advanced search. This time, again, I'm going to say full text, and this time I'm going to tell it to only look in Consumer Reports magazine. And let's say I'm going to change this to subject again, and I'm going to try mattresses. Mattresses here. I'm going to tell it to search. Now, in Consumer Reports, it found 56 articles that deal with mattresses. Now, again, if you notice here on the time frame, it goes back to 1997. Chances are you're not going to want to look at articles in Consumer Reports that are that old. So again, I would suggest scooting this way up, and I put it again from 2020 to 2021, and now I have 13 results, which is a lot easier to handle than all the others we had earlier before. So anyway, this is an excellent resource for a variety of things. I'm going to go here to new search again. When you're at a new search screen, at this point you can choose a different database. And so you've got a whole list here of different databases that we have access to. And a lot of times people come in with questions about health topics. And so we do have access to a consumer edition of something called Health Source. So I'm going to take a look at that. Okay. Now, as an example, I know somebody that has this issue that they're dealing with. Oh, the defect. And so I just put it in as a simple search. And again, I'm going to tell it to look for full text. And I'm going to tell it to search. And I found 22 articles, full text, that deal with this heart condition. And again, it goes back to 2002, which may or may not be helpful in the research this person is attempting at this point. I'm going to go back here again to a new search. You'll notice too, before I do, is that sometimes there are nice pictures and references that are good illustrations too. I'm going to go back. One thing, no matter what database you're in, you can, up here at the top, you can get a list of all of the publications that are included in the database. And sometimes there are just the bibliographic records, like this first one is in a magazine called AARP Modern Maturity. You're only going to get the bibliographic record from 1/1/1984 to the present time. But down further, as an example, here's one, I'm trying to get a good example here. It tells you, you know, the time frame that it covers. Okay, here's one that is called Alcohol Research. And it tells me that I have full text access back to March of 1999 to the present. So that's important information. Here's one, American Fitness, back to July of 1993 to the present. So if you're looking for a particular magazine and you know that the library does not subscribe to it in paper copy, we can always check and see if we have access to it through a database like EBSCO. Okay. A couple other things I'd like to show you. We're back at, I'm going to go back to the library's website again. And here we have rrpl.org, and here we have research tools. And again, I'm going to go by subject. And here we have consumer reports broken off under consumer information. So you can access consumer reports this way. It kind of reminds me of the buying guide. Now you have to use the library as the gateway to get into consumer reports. You can't just type in consumer reports and get their information. You have to come through the library's website in order to access it. And you can access it this way, or you can access consumer reports through EBSCO. So again, if I was doing mattresses again and telling it to search, this is very reminiscent of the buying guides that you may be familiar with. You get the recommended mattresses, the mattress ratings. which gives you the little charts that you may be used to seeing. One thing about accessing consumer reports this way is that you can't create a folder. Through EBSCO, you can create a folder and come back to your research at a later time. So it's just kind of, your choice. And again, there's lots of things you can fiddle with here. If you want to, you can set your price. Looks like the minimum price would be $275, and you could take it all the way up to $5,000. Well, I'm going to take it to $1,000, and I'm going to apply it. And it's going to bring me down to the price range that I am interested in. Okay. I can tell it that I want a certain kind of mattress, inner spring foam, adjustable air. What is this type? I'm not interested in that. Brands. If I have a particular brand that I know is just great, I can limit my search to that and see what the consumer information indicates. So I just wanted to call your attention to this. Okay, we're going to go back again. I am going to take you back to the library's website, just so you see how we do this. Research tools. Again, by subject. And the last one I want to call your attention to is under magazines and newspapers. And here we have a separate database for the National Geographic. Hopefully it's going to come up. What's kind of neat about this database is that we have access, full text access to the National Geographic back to 1888, up to 1994. After 1994, you can access National Geographic through EBSCO. But it is kind of interesting to look at these old magazines and, I have roots in, so I'm just going to see what I can find. Oh, it says no results. Let's go back again. Norway. Here it is. Okay. And let's see. What do I have here? I've got 16 articles that deal with Norway. I have access to some maps. I have brief little articles. I have feature articles, magazine covers, just all kinds of neat stuff. And again, the publication years, I can change this to make it more current than 1894. I don't know, but maybe for genealogical research, it might be kind of fun to read the articles about Norway that go back to 1894. But this is a database that you really could get lost in. So again, you also have, well, you can choose your language too. But I noticed that when I do this, the article, if you choose a different language than English, the print is not translated, but you can listen to it in whatever language you're interested in. So if I wanted to listen to it in German, for example, a particular article, I could listen to it in German, but it would be in English to read as an actual article on the computer. So that's just kind of neat. So anyway, again, like always, if you ever have questions about magazine access or newspaper access or anything here at the library, just be sure to give us a call and or stop by, and we'll see what we can do to help you. And I thank you for your attention. Have a good day. Bye.